Welcome to the He's Got Issues Marvel Comics edition number 136.1. I'm John Cooney here to preview new Marvel Comics being released August 27th, 2014, beginning alphabetically with All New Invaders number 9, Death by Deathlock, the last Luther Manning story. Winter Soldier, Namor, and the original Human Torch's initial mission to rescue Jim Hammond's old partner and fellow invader Toro has changed in light of a new threat that Toro's kidnapper has at his disposal, every Deathlock in the Marvel Universe. How will the Torch overcome his enemy's ability to control artificial intelligence? Plus, how will Cap react to Namor in the aftermath of Original Sin? Next, we have All New Ultimates number 7. Spider-Man, Black Widow, Kitty, Cloak, and Dagger barely hold back in the carnage of vengeful sewer leaders Agent Croc and Vermin. The Bengal joins the police squad just in time to regulate Scourge's murderous aftermath. Will the hunt for Crossbones reveal a deeper, darker secret behind the city's rampant crime wave? We've also got All New X-Men number 31. Iceman Unleashed. Young Bobby Drake takes to the offensive. For someone who said she doesn't find him particularly pleasant to be around, Laura seems to have taken an odd interest in Warren. Next, we have Amazing Spider-Man number 1.4. Witness another secret chapter from the first days of Spider-Man. What started off as fun and games for new villain clash turns deadly serious. As if that weren't enough, a classic Spider-Man villain joins in on the fun. We've also got Avengers number 34, Original Sin tie-in, The Problem of Avengers. The first Avenger meets the last Avenger, and the Avengers world crumbles. You won't believe what comes next. Next we have Avengers Undercover number 9, The Avengers and S.H.I.E.L.D. attack in Gone Native Part 3 of 4. Justice comes to Baron Zemo's supervillain city. When the heroes arrive, whose side will our murder world survivors pick? We've also got Cyclops number 4. Scott and Corsair are stranded on an alien planet with no hope of rescue. The indigenous species are none too happy with them. Not that they're very happy with each other either. What bargains will need to be struck to get either or both of them out alive? Next we have Fantastic Four number 9. Who is the new Frightful Four? Can Reed prove Ben's innocence? And an adventure with the kids of the Future Foundation and the original Human Torch. We've also got Guardians of the Galaxy number 18. You know you want to know how Star-Lord got back from the Cancerverse, and didn't Nova go in there with him? Guess he's not into the whole no man left behind thing. Next we have Inhuman number 4. Rising star Ryan Stegman joins the Inhuman team. Medusa and the Inhumans get a visitor to New Attilan, Thor. Who is Reader, and is he friend or foe? We've also got Marvel Universe Ultimate Spider-Man number 29. Loki puts a hex on Spidey, turning him into a pig. Enter Peter Porker. Can Thor help our friendly neighborhood Spider-Man survive an Asgardian boar hunt? Next we have Original Sin number 5.4, Thor the 10th Realm. Thanks to the events of Original Sin, the deepest secret of the 9 realms is revealed, a 10th realm. Thor and Loki embark on a quest to discover this strange new world and the sister Thor never knew he had, Angela. But can Loki be trusted, and will brother and sister murder each other before the truth comes out? We've also got Savage Hulk number 3. The all-new series by comic superstar Alan Davis continues. Who or what is the newest gamma-powered Goliath? Robots, mutants, and Hulks, oh my. To what lengths will Charles Xavier go to save Bruce Banner? Next we have Silver Surfer number 5. The demon Shumagorath is ready to cast the Earth into eternal chaos. The problem is, if the Silver Surfer, the Hulk, and Doctor Strange can't find a way to stop him, it's Dawn Greenwood who will have to pay the price with her life. We've also got Thunderbolts number 30, Punisher vs. the Thunderbolts Part 4. First, skull to skull against the Ghost Rider, then watch lovers quarrel as Frank takes on Elektra. Next we have Uncanny Avengers number 23, Uncanny Avengers Reunited. The threat of Kang is over, but what are the repercussions? Meet the new faces of the Marvel Universe. We've also got Wolverine number 12, 1 Month to Die, a double-sized series finale. Looks like Sabretooth is ready for his final showdown with Logan, and he sure picked a meaningful venue. Didn't we just see us fight in a shopping mall that seriously scarred Logan? Oh right, that whole messing with Wolverine thing. And we've got Wolverine and the X-Men number 8. What's it like to be a rich, famous teenage mutant? Just ask Quentin Quire. Logan and Storm go on a long overdue date, and when the headmasters are away, villains come out to play. Out in trades this week we've got Avengers Undercover Volume 1 Descent trade paperback. When teen heroes infiltrate the masters of evil, who will break bad? Damaged by their experience in Murder World, 5 conflicted young superhumans go rogue and pose as villains, planning to bring the Avengers rivals down from within. But the longer the teens spend undercover, the more they descend into darkness, and as they start to build a relationship with these multi-layered criminals, the lines between good and evil blurs. What will happen first? Joining the Masters for real, or getting exposed and killed? What happens when the teens confront their former captor, Arcade? And what on earth do the undercover heroes do that brands them as public enemy number 1? As Deathlocket must choose between murdering Captain America or blowing her cover, Baron Zemo makes the teens an offer they can't, they dare not, refuse. Collecting Avengers Undercover number 1 through 6. Next we have Deadpool Vs Carnage trade paperback. Come one, come all for the bloodiest showdown the Marvel Universe has ever seen. It's 2 red-suited madmen for the price of 1 when Deadpool takes on Carnage in the ultimate battle of good crazy versus bad crazy. Will Carnage spread Deadpool all over the landscape, or will Deadpool talk the Scarlet Sociopath's ear off? Find out in the blood-soaked brouhaha for the ages. Plus, Cletus Cassidy is behind bars, and the Carnage symbiote is in quarantine. But we all know that's never going to last, right? Cletus has been evaluated, imprisoned, and even lobotomized. Carnage has been sampled, cloned, poked, and prodded, but they've had enough. It's time to get the band back together. It's a return to bloody, murderous form for the deadliest killer in the Marvel Universe, collecting Deadpool vs. Carnage 1 through 4 and Superior Carnage Annual number 1. We've also got Fantastic Four Volume 1, The Fall of the Fantastic Four trade paperback. The world's greatest comics magazine begins anew, but as the Fantastic Four embark on a strange mission, they aren't met with the new beginnings. They face an untimely end. Marvel's first family heads towards its darkest hour, but who's behind the FF's downfall? Manhattan is under attack by a killer swarm from a corrupted pocket universe. To defeat it, the Human Torch must make a terrible sacrifice. And with one member down, a new menace emerges. The Wrecking Crew, their powers mysteriously elevated. As Ben and Alicia's romance rekindles, the threats of Fin Fang Foom, the Wizard, and the Puppet Master loom. The Baxter Building is quarantined, and the Fantastic Four are held accountable for the destruction in Manhattan. It's the trial of the century and a major turning point for the FF. Collecting Fantastic Four number 1 through 5. Next we have Jessica Jones, The Pulse, the complete collection trade paperback. Jessica Jones, breakout star of Brian Michael Bendis' hit series Alias, is back, and the ex-Avenger turned private investigator is starting a new chapter in her life, working for the Daily Bugle's new superhero section, The Pulse. Jessica's first assignment, to uncover the identity of a former Bugle reporter's superpowered murderer. How is Norman Osborn involved? And how will Jessica's shocking discovery affect the entire Marvel Universe? And when Nick Fury's Secret War spills over into the streets, it hits Jessica and Luke Cage right where they live. With their lives in shambles, Jessica decides to fight back. Finally, it's the moment you've been waiting for, the birth of Jessica and Luke's baby, and their wedding day. Guest starring SpiderMan, Captain America, the New Avengers, and more. Collecting Pulse 1 through 9 and 11 through 14, and New Avengers Annual number 1. We've also got Marvel Masterworks Atlas Era Tales of Suspense Volume 1 trade paperback. In 1958, Stan Lee stood before the decimated Atlas line. Having gone from editor of a line of dozens of titles to just 8, Stan refocused his efforts on only biggest and best. Enter Tales of Suspense. Anchored by the visual talents of Jack Kirby, Steve Ditko, and Don Heck, this new big monster book became part of the creative revival that would change comics forever. Their twist-ending tales featuring Martians, killer robots, and massive monsters were very foundation of what would become Marvel's superhero house of ideas. So strap on your tinfoil hat, grab your ray gun, and get ready to dive into the most amazing era of comics history, collecting Tales of Suspense number 1 through 10. Next we have Marvel Masterworks Marvel Rarities Volume 1 hardcover. That's right, true believer, because you demanded it, the Marvel Masterworks proudly bring you a collection of the rarest stories from the Marvel Age of Comics. Experience classic tales featuring mystic hero Dr. Doom, arch-villain Dr. Doom, and the Cosmic Watcher in one must-have Masterworks collection. Featuring some of the era's greatest talents, Stan Lee, Jack Kirby, Roy Thomas, and Gene Colan, it's a perfect Masterworks pedigree. This volume will also include a host of amazing extras from the 1960s peak of the Marvel Age, original Marvel Merry Marching Society memorabilia, rare pinups, posters, and prints, and more. It's the volume you've dreamed of, so reserve your copy today. Collecting material from Amazing Adventures number 1 through 5, Tales of Suspense number 49 to 58, Silver Surfer number 1 through 7, Marvel Superheroes number 20 and 23, and Astonishing Tales number 1 through 8. We've also got New Warriors Volume 1, The Kids Are All Fight trade paperback, Warriors Reborn. Speedball and Justice gather a group of young heroes, including Sungirl, Hummingbird, the new Nova, and a couple of fresh faces to stop the latest threat to the Marvel Universe. Atlanteans, Inhumans, Morlocks, clones, and hundreds of other so-called superior beings are living among normal humans, but not everyone is pleased about that. The High Evolutionary has raised an army to combat the evolution of humanity, and the New Warriors are locked in his deadly sights. If it's not human, it dies. But why? And what do the mighty evolutionaries want with Nova? A worldwide genocide approaches as Nova encounters the captive Scarlet Spider. The second evolutionary war begins. Can the Warriors stop worldwide genocide? Should they? How many lives would you sacrifice to save all of humanity? Guest starring the Avengers, collecting New Warriors number 1 through 6. Next we have Oz, Dorothy, and the Wizard of Oz trade paperback. Once upon a time, a tornado brought her to Oz. Now an earthquake sends Dorothy on her latest and greatest adventure. L. Frank Baum's magical world comes to life again as Dorothy Gale takes yet another unexpected trip. This time Dorothy and her cousin Zeb tumble deep into the ground after an earthquake. They'll encounter the strange mangaboos and invisible bears. They'll tussle with fierce wooden gargoyles and hungry 66-year-old baby dragons. But Dorothy will have an old friend at her side, the wonderful Wizard of Oz. But can the wizard's guile save Dorothy and Zeb? And what master plan has he been hiding? Experience Marvel's fourth amazing adaptation of the L. Frank Baum classic, written by award-winning scribe Eric Shanower and illustrated by Scotty Young, collecting Dorothy and the Wizard of Oz number 1 through 8. We've also got Secret Service Kingsman hardcover, Premier Edition. From the writer of Kick-Ass and the artist of Watchmen comes a collaboration decades in the making. The world's greatest secret agent is on the most exciting case of his career, but will the end of the world as we know it take a backseat to training his street punk nephew to be the next James Bond? Meanwhile, what's the link between a series of kidnapped sci-fi stars and the murder of an entire town and a dark secret from inside Mount Everest? Under Uncle Jack's supervision, Gary's spy skills and confidence blossom, but when the duo learns what's behind the celebrity kidnappings, the knowledge comes at a price. The conspiracy begins to unravel, but who can be trusted when so many prominent figures seem to be involved? It's a must-see to be believed action spectacle, collecting Secret Service number 1 through 6. Next we have X-Force by Craig Kyle and Chris Yost, the Complete Collection Volume 2 trade paperback. X-Force returns from the future, but as they race to defuse the Leper Queen and the Sapien League's plot, X-23 is captured by the facility. Now our only hope is S.H.I.E.L.D. agent Morales, but can either of them survive against Kimura, the one foe X-23 has never beaten? Meanwhile, Wolfsbane is reunited with X-Force, just as Selene's forces descend on Utopia. X-Force fights an unsettling battle against Selene's army of undead mutants, including former teammate Caliban and Warpath's brother Thunderbird. Can the team obtain the one weapon capable of stopping Selene in time? And when the Assassin's Guild targets Wolverine and Domino, the two heroes must face a murderer's row of villains, while insanely distracted by each other. Collecting X-Force number 17 through 25, X-Necrotia, The Gathering, X-Force Sex and Violence number 1 through 3, and material from X-Necrotia and X-Force Annual number 1. And we've got X-Force Volume 1 Dirty Tricks trade paperback. Almost every sovereign state in the Marvel Universe uses superhumans to covertly protect national interests. The United States has the Secret Avengers, the United Kingdom has MI-13, and Mutant Kind has X-Force. Cable, Psylocke, Phantom X, Morrow, Mutant Kind's protectors, spies, assassins, and torturers, but what drove them to join this new deadly incarnation of X-Force? How has Morrow regained her powers, and how is it connected to X-Force's first target, ruthless arms dealer Volga? X-Force races Volga through the Brazilian jungle and battles France's superhuman Black Ops team. When they finally face Volga directly, one member of the team may meet an untimely end. In this dirty, deadly, no-holds-barred game of superhuman Black Ops, X-Force will spy, torture, and kill to ensure that Mutant Kind not only has a place in the world, but also a stake in it. Collecting X-Force number 1 through 6. Alright, so that's it for Marvel this week, but there's still plenty of other books out as well, so be sure to check out my YouTube channel at he'sgotissues.com to see both the DC and Indies videos for this week, as well as my featured video with the usual roundup of all my favorites for the week, with a little more depth and insight than you get here. And if you like these videos, be sure to let me know by leaving a comment and subscribing. You can also follow He's Got Issues on Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, and Tumblr to see everything I'm reading as I read it. So until next week, I'm John Cooney, and I've got issues.